In 2026, the DVSA changed the booking rules for the driving test. And if you handle your test the old way, you can get caught out badly. You now only get 2 changes to the driving test booking. On top of this, only the learner, you, can actually make any changes to the booking. And to make matters even worse, they are making it much harder to move your driving test to any other test centre. So this video is a simple survival plan for you guys. We're going to look at what changed, what changes actually count as one of your 2 lives, what people will get wrong, because they always do, and how to avoid wasting your booking. So what has actually changed? From the 31st of March 2026, you can now only make 2 changes to your driving test booking. That includes changing the date or time of your driving test, changing the test centre, location, or swapping it with another learner. And yes, you can do that. Phone the DVSA with someone else that agrees, say I'd like to swap, wham bam, thank you ma'am. The second big change is from the 12th of May 2026, the DVSA have said only the learner, you, can make any physical changes to your booking. They've actually gone as far to say, if anyone else does make any change to your booking, this is going to be considered unlawful. Telling me they're taking it really seriously. The third big change is from the 9th of June 2026. When you book a driving test, you will only be able to move it to the 3 nearest test centres to your location. Good question though, how will they know your location? Will they do it off just the postcode you put in there? Or will they do it off your physical licence address? Because if they do it off your physical licence address, it's going to make it really important that you keep your driving licence up to date. Imagine going to uni or somewhere else and you want to do your test there. Could have some implications. We'll see. So the headline is this: fewer changes, less flexibility, and more pressure to get your booking right the first time. So what counts as a change and what doesn't? Well, if you change the date or time of your driving test, that's going to count as a change. So if you change the test centre from the current test centre and move it to a different one, that's going to count as a change. And if you swap your driving test with a different learner, that's also going to count as a change. This is important because it also tells us what isn't going to count as a change, and that's going to matter. Now, the DVSA have said that you can make more than one of these changes all in one go, and it will still only count as one change. Basically, you can change the date and time of your driving test, you can swap it with another learner, and you can move it to a different test centre all in one go. If you do that, it still only counts as one change. However, if you change the date and time, put the phone down, pick the phone back up, say, actually, I want to swap it with another learner, that's then immediately going to count as 2 changes, and that's the end. Now, what does not count as a change? If you need to update your contact details, this does not count as a change. For instance, maybe you've popped off to uni, you're planning to live there or stay there for 3-4 years, you want to change your address. Or maybe you've got a driving test booked and you've just moved house. Not going to count as a change. Of course, once you've changed your address and then you need to move the driving test to the new location, that is going to count as a change. If the DVSA changes your driving test due to sickness or whatever other reason, it does happen, happened to me last week, that will not count as one of your changes. So no, it's not every little tweak to your driving test booking, but the important stuff absolutely does. Here are the traps that learners are going to end up falling into, and I don't want you guys to. And maybe some of you guys out there are thinking, why does it even matter? Who moves their driving test? Well, I can promise you, around 90% of people will have to move their driving test. In fact, let me know in the comments if you've had to move your driving test, because this is severely going to affect a lot of people. And now more than ever, it's really important that you make sure you are as ready as possible for that driving test. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is to just do independent driving, meaning driving with a sat-nav. Because when you drive with a sat-nav, people are less likely to open their mouth to help you, you know? If they say at the roundabout second exit, because they're speaking, they're more likely to tell you the lane, tell you other bits. Turn a sat-nav on, you're on your own. And that is going to highlight extremely quickly what issues you've still got, or if you are really ready for your driving test. And if you're struggling with that and thinking, well, yeah, Josh, where the hell do I get that idea from? Where do I go? Do I go to McDonald's? No, what you want to do really is you want to find some sort of route, have a route in mind. It doesn't matter, it doesn't need to be an actual test route. A test route's going to help in some way. It doesn't matter if the examiner uses it or not. It's going to include the challenges that you should expect. And that's what's important, not knowing the exact test routes. It's knowing the challenges that are going to be involved. Because if you just drive to work every day or drive to school every day, you know the road, you've got no challenges on there. It's not realistic. If you do want that, there's loads of different apps and things out there. You can have a look at mine, Driving Test Expert. There's actually a free route on there as well for every test centre in the country. But have a look on there. You know, for some test centres, you've got 20 routes on there, so you're not going to run out, and they're really going to help you be ready for the challenges involved. Now, here are the traps that learners are going to fall into. You guys, I don't want you to fall into these traps. And the first one is just booking casually, and I'm guilty of this myself, I'll be honest. A lot of learners will book tests just to get one in the diary, and why wouldn't you in our current climate? It's almost impossible to get a driving test. You've got to be there Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. Join the queue of 30,000 people and then pray that you get a driving test. I mean, is that realistic? Is that what we should be in now for a driving test? No, it's not, but that's a story for another day. The days of booking a driving test and then hoping to just move it later, they're going downhill quick. It's going to be much riskier now. And if you do that and you're nowhere near ready, you're going to burn your 2 changes like that, and then you're going to have to cancel it and rebook it. That's not what we want. So basically, the old book now, sort it out later, it's going bye-byes. The second big issue, relying on someone else to book your driving test for you. The problem you've got is some learners barely know their own login details or how to do it. I mean, parents aren't even going to know. Why would you? You've not had to do it for 20 years maybe. Everything's changed and it's more complicated than ever. Well, unfortunately now, you, the learner, have to be able to do this yourself. You can't rely on someone else to do it for you. And that's hard because, let's be honest, how many 17-year-olds are organised and know how to log into the driving test booking system? And then you have international drivers or people that English isn't their first language and they're going to be expected to do this on their own. This is going to lead to some problems. But if you don't control your own booking, you are vulnerable. 1, they've said it's going to be unlawful. And 2, you're going to end up getting taken to the cleaners. The amount of people that are being scammed or charged £500 a driving test is insane. And I've seen it firsthand. The third big trap is the test centre hopping. Again, been guilty of it in the past. Book a driving test anywhere in the country, then we'll just move it later. With these new test centre restrictions coming in, that is no longer going to be a viable option. So if your whole strategy was built on bouncing around test centres, DVSA have just squeezed that right up. And this is the really important one, the money trap. If you need more than 2 changes, you now need to cancel your driving test and rebook it. Yes, that means Monday morning, 6:30 a.m, join the queue of 30,000 people. You know where I'm going with it. Not a fun experience. If you want a refund on that driving test so you can rebook it, you need to make sure it's done at least 10 working days before your driving test actually takes place. That means Sundays and bank holidays do not count. I've seen people fall into this trap so many times, it's very frustrating. You need to basically leave at least 2 weeks. Otherwise, it's going to get really expensive and frustrating very, very quickly. So who's this going to hurt the most? Well, I'd pretty much say everyone, but let's be honest, it's going to really hurt the disorganised people. Now, let me ask you a question. What percentage of 17-year-olds would you say are organised? I don't know, if they're anything like I was, I'd go roughly 20%, which means 80% of the 17-year-olds are going to need more help, more support, and they're going to end up in trouble. But you tell me, what are your thoughts? It is also going to really hurt people gaming the system. You know, you've got people out there making a fortune selling driving tests. Imagine you've got a driving test and you've got a bot moving it, bouncing it from round, 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 like a pinball. It never leaves the system. It just stays there, so no one else can take it until that person sells it for whatever extortionate amount of money they want to. They can't do that anymore. So this isn't all bad. In fact, there is a lot of good. Whether or not it works, that's a different question. It's going to severely impact that people are not ready for their driving test, the book a driving test. You know, if you go and book a driving test when you've only had 1 lesson, you book the driving test for 2-3 months away, most people are not going to be ready for their driving test in 2-3 months. The average Joe having 1 hour per week is not going to be ready in 2 months, which means you're going to have to move it. Now you've only got 1 emergency move. You will be surprised how many people need to move their driving test. That is a bad idea. And it's also going to really hurt people that can't physically do this themselves or really struggle to do it themselves. You know, a lot of people rely on their parents. A lot of people need support because, as I say, English isn't your first language. And hopefully, I'm sure the parents are still going to be able to help, but it's definitely going to make things far more difficult for everyone, including the baddies gaming the system. To put it bluntly, this is going to punish casual behaviour, you know, just casually booking that driving test, or just go and just, you know, book it. But if you're organised, you book a driving test for a realistic time frame at a realistic test centre, you should be absolutely fine. I mean, I guess the DVSA is really trying to force people to be more organised, more deliberate. Stop just wishy-washy booking driving tests just for the hell of it. Clogs up the system, stops people that are truly ready. I guess they're trying to make things more organised. Whether or not it works, you tell me. So what is the survival plan? Well, the first thing is you need to make sure you book a driving test at a realistic centre near you, preferably one that you know the area. I don't care what anyone else says. Yes, you can drive anywhere, but you're far more likely to pass if you know the roads that you're driving on. I drive far better where I live than driving to London and trying to drive around there because I don't know the roads. The next thing is book a realistic date. There's no point booking a date that you know you're never ever going to be ready for. You're punishing yourself doing that. You also need to treat your 2 moves as emergency moves, not convenience moves. And most importantly, guys, make sure that you can access your own booking. Make sure you can manage and control it. I'm not saying don't have parents help you, but make sure you know what you're doing, know how the system works. Then if mum and dad want to help you, great. But take control of the situation. Don't leave it to someone else. And finally, if you know you are going to have to move your driving test, do not leave it till the last second. As I say, the amount of people that I see lose their money because I've warned them, don't leave it to the last second, but they do it anyway. They forget that it's 10 working days. Next thing you know, they get to 9 days and they're like 62 quid plus a cancellation plus whatever else fee down the swanny. The best way to survive these new changes, get your booking right early, protect your 2 changes, and stop treating the whole thing like it's just endlessly flexible. Now, if you want this plan in a PDF, you can download it right there or in the description below. It's got everything there just to keep in mind and the rules on paper so you know exactly what you want. You're also going to be able to see the blog on this in the next 2 days on my website, drivingtestexpert.com. Any questions or anything, get them in the comments below, or you want me to make any more content related to this, let me know. I wish you all the best in your driving tests. Good luck, guys.